In 1952, Everest was still unbeaten, but the lessons were finally learned. Maps were drawn, oxygen tested, and a plan hardened by failure began moving quietly toward a mountain that had never forgiven a mistake.
Hey, glad you're here. Welcome to the Himalayan Journals. Here on this channel, we bring to you real stories from century old field notes. We try to keep it simple and calm here. Think of it as a documented history of the Himalayas from the early 1900s, covering stories of indigenous wisdom, epic expeditions, and groundbreaking science, passed on just as they were recorded. Subscribe, zone out, binge.
Planning for Everest in 1953 began almost as soon as the Cho Oyu expedition returned to England in July 1952. By September, when summer holidays ended, the Himalayan Committee was able to meet and take its first decisions. Everything gathered real momentum on the 8th of October, when Colonel John Hunt arrived back from Germany and placed the plans on what was described as full steam ahead. The foundations of the expedition rested firmly on knowledge earned the hard way by earlier climbers. There was a clear understanding of Himalayan weather, of the timing of a summit attempt, and of how the human body responded to altitude. Experience from Everest itself and from Cho Oyu in 1952 had provided valuable information about acclimatization, oxygen, diet, and clothing. The Swiss had already pioneered the route on the Nepal side above the icefall and nearly to the south summit, and they shared this knowledge freely. Colonel Hunt assessed this body of experience and turned it into a detailed plan which guided the expedition from beginning to end. It defined everything, from the number of climbers to the amount of oxygen and the placing of camps. The climbing party would consist of 10 climbers and a reserve, the doctor. Acclimatization would be thorough, aiming to make all members fit to live for the assault period at 21,000 feet. An advanced base would be established at the top of the Western Cwm, from which the assault would be organized. Above this point, only essential climbing would be done. Stores would be lifted in quantity to the South Col, and the summit camp would be placed as close to 28,000 feet as possible. Oxygen would be used thoroughly and with confidence above the South Col and partly below it. 6 months were spent in preparation, involving countless people. Committees, manufacturers, packers, dietitians, and secretaries worked with energy and enthusiasm. Hundreds of letters arrived wishing the expedition well, a reminder that the effort belonged to more than those who would go to the mountain. By the end of February, the main party reached Bombay. Here, A.R. Layden of the Himalayan Club ensured that nearly 480 packages passed smoothly through customs and onto the train. The journey across India was long and tired, ending with the crossing from Bhimfidi to Kathmandu. Other members arrived by air and gathered at the British Embassy, where they were warmly received by Ambassador C.H. Summerhays and his staff. In Kathmandu, the party was completed by Tenzing and 17 Sherpas, selected in Darjeeling. Their presence brought a sense that the expedition had truly begun. Tenzing impressed everyone with his authority, his cheerfulness, and his natural leadership. Soon after, the baggage arrived at Tengboche and was moved with army assistance to Bhadgaon, where about 350 Tamang coolies were enlisted. The load was too great for one column, so the caravan was divided. On 10th and 11th March, Under the gaze of photographers, the long lines of coolies filed out of Bhatgaon on the 17-day march to Tengboche. The route descended to the Sunkosi at 2,000 feet and then climbed steadily through fresh countryside. After a storm, the air cleared, revealing the whole Himalayan chain in remarkable clarity. Camp followed camp through villages, painted gompas, and ridges looking out to Gaurisankar and Menlungtse. Marching days followed a simple rhythm. Travel began at dawn, paused by rivers for bathing and breakfast, and ended early with well-chosen camps. Hillsides were bright with rhododendrons and magnolias, birds were everywhere, and soon the party entered Sherpa country. The coolies sang as they marched, and the sound of madals carried into the night. The long approach was also used for training. Loads were carried deliberately, and oxygen masks were worn to build confidence. After 13 days, the route turned north into the Dudkosi Valley and steadily into bigger country. At Namche Bazaar, the presence of an Indian wireless post would later allow news of success to reach England in time for the coronation. Tengboche was reached next. The Tamang coolies were paid off, their work complete and faultless. For several days, the party rested beneath the monastery, surrounded by forests and peaks, with Everest itself lying 12 miles away. Here, before beginning acclimatization climbs, the expedition paused, well prepared at last for the work that lay ahead.